Now India is planning for Chandrayaan 4. अब Chandrayaan 4 जो है, lunar sample return, land on the moon, take the sample of the moon, return back. So what is very important here? We will land, collect the sample, return back. Very challenging. अभी तक ऐसा काम करने वाला जो country है वो US है. NASA has got that expertise of getting the sample return there. Another one is ESA, European Space Agency, to get the sample from comet, from solar system to get the sample and come back. तो अब हमारा Chandrayaan 4 जो है, it will not only be orbiter lander part, but will take the sample, come back. Another very very important project. India is going to have this. Now India is planning for Chandrayaan 4. Recently अभी न्यूज में चंद्रयान के बारे में न्यूज में था. अब चंद्रयान 4 जो है, अगर देखा जाए चंद्रयान 4 मिशन जो है, lunar sample return, land on the moon, take the sample of the moon, return back. So what is very important here? अगर इंडिया का इसरो का जो है, इंडिया का lunar mission की बात करें, let's look at here. First of all, मैं टाइमलाइन बता रहा हूँ. We started with Chandrayaan mission, Chandrayaan 1. It was only orbiter mission, यानी कि मून पे 100 kilometer orbit. It was just a orbital mission, orbiting around the moon. Then we went for Chandrayaan 2. Now this was launched in 2008. 2008 में इसको launch किया गया. 2009 we reached to the moon. And then after 10 years, 2019, right? We tried, it was orbiter plus Vikram lander with rover, Pragya rover. So orbiter successful, but this was a failure. And ये failure था. Then comes here, in terms of coming to the next level, India went for Chandrayaan 3. In between there was COVID-19, right? COVID-19 came in between, but we again tried there 2023 after the COVID. And orbiter was just a propulsion. It was only meant for propulsion system plus the Vikram lander and rover. And you all know that we have been successfully landing on south pole of the moon. Pragya rover, we were successful landing there. Now comes our next level, Chandrayaan 4. Now Chandrayaan 4, we are planning up for that. That is a plan for this year or the next year. That is a Chandrayaan 4. So what will be here? Orbiter, right? Orbiter. Then it will be lander rover, just like Chandrayaan 3. And then sample return. We will land, collect the sample, return back. यानी कि जो orbiter होगा, the lander will go down with the kind of a module there. Will collect the sample and again will go back. So just like landing, what we have done, deboosting. It deboosted, came down, and then after taking the sample, will lift off, and again will go back to the part of this, and then again will come back. Very challenging. अभी तक ऐसा काम करने वाला जो country है वो US है. USA has got that expertise. NASA has got that expertise of getting the sample return there. Another one is ESA, European Space Agency, to get the sample from comet, comet and asteroid from solar system to get the sample and come back. है ना, जो भी ऐसे comet, asteroid वगैरह, ESA, European Space Agency, कि sample return करके वापस आना. NASA का एक मिशन था Osiris Rex. क्या नाम है मिशन का? One asteroid, near Earth asteroid, Bennu. NASA sent a spacecraft Osiris Rex, which collected the sample return back. तो अब हमारा Chandrayaan 4 जो है, it will not only be orbiter lander part, but will take the sample, come back. So that is here, return back, lunar sample return back. Another very very important project. India is going to have this. Now for this one, we use PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. C11 was used. 2008 when we launched. 2009 it went to the Earth's moon orbit. Here we use this one GSLV, MK3 M1. Again we use here LVM3, that is GSLV3, and again we'll be using here LVM3, GSLV3. जिस जगह पे हमारा Chandrayaan 2 का landing failure हो गया, where we crash landed, we were not able to do soft landing of Vikram lander with Pragya rover in Chandrayaan 2 mission. उस जगह का जो साइट का जो है, you know that तिरंगा, जहां हमारा Chandrayaan 2 का विक्रम लैंडर और जो प्रज्ञा रोवर क्रैश लैंड हो गया था, सॉफ्ट लैंड नहीं कर पाया, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड तिरंगा साइट. व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड तिरंगा साइट? बिकॉज़ इंडिया बिकम्स अ क्लब ऑफ countries, elite club of countries to have flag on the moon. After US, European Space Agency, Russia, China, India is the country, and now Japan. Japan has also reached to the moon. Japan भी moon पे पहुंच चुका है. तो अगर हम देखें कितने countries के चंद्रमा पे उनका flag है, flag of the country. तो US, Russia, European countries, then China, now Japan, now comes the India. जिससे उसका नाम रखा तिरंगा, राइट? एंड हियर Chandrayaan 3, दिस लैंडिंग साइट. तो व्हाट इज हियर सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग साइट, जहां पे हमारा Chandrayaan 3 लैंडिंग हो गया था. व्हाट दिस साइट हैज बीन नेम्ड, जिस जगह पे प्रज्ञा रोवर लैंडेड सॉफ्टली ऑन द डार्क साइड ऑफ द मून, साउथ पोल ऑफ द मून, राइट? द प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज गिवन द नेम. व्हाट इज द नेम हियर? नेम्ड शिव शक्ति, Shiva Shakti. That name has been given. Now we are planning for Chandrayaan 4. We'll land, collect the sample, return back. We'll get back to the Earth. Another very important space mission. India is planning for that. So NASA is doing it alone or with the help of other agencies. NASA is doing it with the help of ESA, European Space Agency. NASA and ESA both partner each other in that part of it. So that is what this all the plan is there, right? So sample return side, if you look at the photograph, is not very clear. We will be landing there. 1,517 kilogram. This will be the part of. So we will be going down. There will be a kind of equipment which will just fall, take the soil, lunar soil, and then will be a thruster. Will be thrust just like a rocket. Will have upward propulsion and will just go and meet with the orbiter. That means this one, right, 1,527 kilogram, this will descend and then it will take the sample and ascend up. It will go up with the lunar sample. That's what we are planning for this. Another part of it which you have to be aware of it. And आपको current aspect. So, but now go. And why dark side of the moon? क्यों south pole of the moon? South pole of the moon because the dark side of the moon has a lot of minerals. Dark side of the moon has the kind of evidence of water. Dark side of moon has the traces of that information which may connect the early part of solar system. Dark side of the moon can give us understanding understanding about Earth and the Moon, this system which have formed in terms of study of solar system. That's what the dark side of the Moon, south pole of the Moon is very very important. Correct? This is what is the part of it comes into that, which I have just mentioned. Now let's move to the next part of it. क्या है ये? Another important topic for the exam. India's space station. Right? Recently the chairman, Dr. Somnath, he announced that after having successful Gaganyaan missions, we will go to the next one having our space station. Is India's space station. Right? India is going to build the space station. So this is here Bharatiya Antariksh. That is a BAS. Bharatiya Antariksh Station. That is where we are going to have this. अभी तक अगर देखा जाए स्पेस स्टेशन, अगर स्पेस स्टेशन की बात करें, if we take about space station worldwide, तो first is the NASA. Initially NASA and Russia, which you have Roscosmos. In 70s, Cold War era, when time Cold War, they were building there. Like Skylab. And this was Mir, very important one built by Roscosmos, Russia, that time Soviet Union. Mir. Cold War के टाइम में इन दोनों के आपस में कंपटीशन था. NASA ने अपना Skylab हुआ था, रशिया ने मीर बनाया था. अब यही जो मीर है, इसी के ऊपर असेंबल करके बनाया गया ISS, International Space Station. The present time International Space Station is basically it was built upon the Mir space station, which was earlier built by Russia, that time Soviet Union. अंतरिक्ष की जो बैकग्राउंड है बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. सोवियत यूनियन हैज बीन अ वेरी पायनियर स्पेस स्टेशन. मीर बनाया गया था, उसी मीर को बाद में जाके इसको रीडेवलप करके आज के टाइम में इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन है, ISS है. और ये जो इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन है, यू नो दैट देयर आर 5 एजेंसीज व्हिच आर मैनेजिंग दिस ISS. व्हिच ऑल द कंट्रीज आर देयर? NASA, then Russia, Roscosmos, then JAXA, then comes here Canada, Canadian Space Agency, and then comes here that ESA, European Space Agency. Now is the turn of China. Chinese Administrative Sciences, CAS, China. See here CSA. What is CSA? Canadian Space Agency. But when you take CAS, Chinese Aeronautical Science, they are building here. China is building its own space station called Tiangong. Whereas right now, these 5 agencies, NASA, Roscosmos, JAXA, Canada, and European Space Agency, they are managing International Space Station. Now India will join this league of countries, becoming the fourth agency. So now comes ISRO. So ISRO is going to build Bharatiya Antariksh Station. Our country will build Indian Space Station, that is ISRO will be there. So if you look at this development there, future space station will have lot of utility, lot of functions. बहुत सारे इसके उपयोग होंगे. Right from meteorology, weather science, Earth observation, remote sensing, whatever satellite does. At the same time, astronomical research, study of universe, finding out the mysteries of the universe. Plus experiment on microgravity, zero gravity, developing new products, plus space tourism, all these are. अब यहाँ पर एक और चीज बहुत important कि हम कब start करेंगे. So this will start in 2028 and will be completed by 2035. 2028 में हम अपना खुद का बनाना स्टार्ट करेंगे लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट. ये सब जितने स्पेस स्टेशन होते हैं लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट होते हैं. और 2035 में हम कंप्लीट करेंगे आवर ओन इंडिपेंडेंट स्पेस स्टेशन इन लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट. स्पेस, द डोमेन ऑफ स्पेस इज एक्सपैंडिंग वेरी वेरी फास्ट. बहुत फास्ट एक्सपैंड कर रहा है. लॉट ऑफ न्यू डेवलपमेंट इन स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी दैट इज टेकिंग प्लेस. तो हम पीछे क्यों रहेंगे? इंडिया विल आल्सो टेक द लीड.